Mr. Bailey, what day was your car towed?
December 23rd last year.
Where was the car parked?
Say that again.
Where had the car been parked?
It had been parked close to my apartment building in the apartment parking lot.
So where you live, you had parked at your apartment lot?
Yes.
When did you move into that apartment complex?
Um, I believe September, early September 2024.
All right, so you've been there over a year.
Yes.
Are there parking policies for the complex?
Um, I'm sure there are.
You don't know what they are?
No, I do not.
At midnight, the judge begins by asking Mr. Bailey when his car was towed, and he clearly states that it happened on December 23rd of the previous year. Around 0:10, the judge follows up by asking where the vehicle had been parked, and after some clarification, Mr. Bailey explains that it was parked in the parking lot of his apartment complex, very close to where he lives. By 0:28, it is confirmed that he was indeed parked in his own residential parking area. At 0:32, the discussion shifts to when he moved into the apartment, and he recalls that it was around early September 2024. By 0:44, the judge confirms that he had been living there for over a year. Then, at 0:49, the judge asks about parking policies in the complex, and Mr. Bailey admits that he assumes there are rules, but does not actually know them. By 0:56, he clearly states that he is unaware of any specific parking regulations, which becomes an important issue in the case moving forward.
Is there assigned parking?
I do not believe so.
All right. Are you given any type of parking permit or sticker or hang tag, anything at all to denote that you're a resident?
Uh, no, I think it's just all open parking. I think you can pay for like covered parking, and then it might be assigned, but mine was just in a public space.
Is it public like you're on a public street, or is it just not assigned for people who are at the complex?
Sorry, yeah, and unassigned parking that's available for everybody that lives here.
Is there anything special for guests that says this is guest parking?
I think there might be some signs up by the leasing office, but that's about it.
Where had your vehicle been parked?
Where was it parked?
Mhm.
Um, right outside my window, very close to my apartment.
Was it parked in a normal parking space between the lines?
Yes.
So it wasn't parallel parking on the street, it was in a pull-in parking space?
Yeah, it was parked correctly.
Okay, that's an important part. I never assumed that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How'd you discover your vehicle was missing?
Um, so I had originally parked it there about a week before Thanksgiving. I gave my apartment complex my license number and everything. I told them that there was some damage to it and it was going to have to sit there for a couple of months.
Mm, mm, mm. Let me stop you right there, Mr. Bailey. So
Yes.
was your vehicle operable?
Yes.
Could you drive the vehicle, no problem?
At 1:03, the questioning continues as the judge asks whether there is assigned parking in the complex, and Mr. Bailey responds that he does not believe there is. Around 1:09, he is asked if residents are given any permits, stickers, or tags to identify their vehicles, but he confirms that he did not receive anything like that. By 1:16, he explains that parking is generally open and unassigned, although some paid covered spots may exist. At 1:27, the judge clarifies whether the parking is public or simply shared among residents, and Mr. Bailey confirms that it is unassigned but reserved for people living in the complex. Around 1:39, the judge asks about guest parking, and Mr. Bailey mentions that there might be some signs near the leasing office, but nothing very clear. By 1:54, he confirms that his car was parked right outside his apartment window. At 2:01, The judge verifies that the car was properly parked within the lines, and by 2:13, it is confirmed that the vehicle was not improperly parked in any way, which becomes a key detail later.
Yeah, it had gotten dropped off to me at work, unannounced. It had a flat tire. I had a tow truck come out and fix it. I drove it over to the apartment complex and parked it. It had a little bit of body damage, and that's what I was telling them that I was going to need some time to save up and get that fixed.
Why would you tell your apartment complex that? Why do they care?
I mean, it didn't look wrecked, but it didn't look great. I just wanted to let them know that the car was just going to be sitting for probably quite some time.
So you work in a drive it?
I work at Whole Foods as a dishwasher. It's walking distance.
All right. Okay, so you park your car, you tell the landlord, hey, it's got a dent in it, but it's fine. I'm gonna let it sit there until I can fix it. What happens next?
And I do want to point out, I did send pictures. The trunk lock was broken, so there were bungee cords holding it down. So again, I just knew there were some issues that I needed to address. As far as your question, so I didn't know it was towed. I can't remember the exact date, but it was several weeks, um, almost up to a month, I believe, after it was towed. And that's because the way that I walk out of my apartment, I don't I don't walk past the car.
And you don't go
So I
check
never.
on it?
I did a few times in the beginning, but then after that, no, I just figured it was safe. Um, so then I come down one day to check on it. My friend had a question about it. He's gonna help me fix it up. So I went to go look at it. It's gone. I assumed it had been stolen. I go to the leasing office. I tell them that it's gone. They tell me that it was not towed. Um, I had them double check. They checked their computer. They said that they did not have it towed. So they suggested that I call like the police and put in a report. When I called, I guess they have the ability to check um, if a car has been towed, and it
So,
had.
so Mr. Bailey, you assumed it had been stolen, and the landlord also agreed with you because they didn't have record of it being towed?
Yeah, they said that there's no record that they had it towed, and that I should call the police.
Okay, but when you called the police, police had the record and said, no, no, it got impounded.
Yes.
Okay. Cop said, go get your car back. All right. How long had your car been
Right.
sitting on the lot? Was it still there?
Yeah, yeah, they had it in the tow yard for I want to say like 30 days. It got towed the December 23rd, and I got it out on the 22nd, January 22nd. That was about a week after.
At 2:26, the judge asks how Mr. Bailey discovered that his car was missing, and he explains that he had parked it about a week before Thanksgiving and informed the apartment office about its condition. Around 2:38, he says the car had some damage and would need to sit for a while until he could afford repairs. By 2:48, the judge confirms that the car was still operable, and Mr. Bailey admits that it could be driven without major issues. At 3:06, he explains that the car had a flat tire earlier but was fixed before being parked. By 3:18, the judge questions why he informed the apartment complex about the damage, and Mr. Bailey says he simply wanted to be transparent since the car did not look perfect. Around 3:43, he explains that he works nearby and walks to work, so he did not use the car regularly. By 4:07, he admits that he did not check on the car for several weeks. At 4:37, when he finally went to look at it, he found it missing and assumed it had been stolen. By 4:55, the leasing office told him they had no record of towing it, but at 5:03, after contacting the police, he discovered that the car had actually been towed.
Knowing that it was towed.
All right. What's the reason you think it was improperly towed?
From what I understand, and this is all just me doing research online, that I should be notified that it's
The
going to be
notification
towed.
is typically on the window of the car. Do you know that that's what you're saying, that typically that's the notification is they stick something on the windshield. But if you don't look at your car, how would you know?
Right, and that's what I was told. I had reached out to the office and to the tow yard, specifically asking them if they had proof that it was stickered. I'm not necessarily saying or accusing them that it wasn't. But from what I understand, my apartment complex,
Bailey,
they
are you
claimed that
just
they were,
hopeful that they wrongfully towed you? Because per what you just testified to, you don't know what your parking permit per situation is. You don't know if the lease talks about it. You brought your car, you left it, you did not move it, you did not check on it, and when you finally got around to fixing it, you discovered it had been towed.
yes.
All right. How is that the landlord's mistake if you left a car that you did not move or did not touch? Does your lease say they can tow it?
I would assume so, yes.
With respect, Mr. Bailey, I don't want you to assume it. I want you to have looked at your lease and said, Judge, the lease either does or doesn't allow them to tow it in this situation. Because what's the claim you have? Why didn't they tow it correctly?
So that's what I was saying about the research that I did. It's the sticker should not have been enough, from what I understand, that they should have attempted to contact me, either leaving a note on my door, calling me, sending me an email
I'm not
saying,
aware of that, Mr. Bailey. Where in the statute does it require the landlord go above and beyond a notice on?
At 5:25, it is confirmed that the car was impounded, and Mr. Bailey later retrieved it after about a month. Around 5:49, the judge asks why he believes the towing was improper, and Mr. Bailey explains that he thought he should have received a warning notice, such as a sticker on the car. By 6:05, he admits that he is relying mostly on online research and not official rules. At 6:21, he says he contacted both the apartment office and the tow yard asking for proof that a notice had been placed on the vehicle. By 6:34, the judge challenges his argument, pointing out that Mr. Bailey did not know the lease terms, did not move the car, and did not check on it for a long time. Around 6:55, the judge questions how this could be considered the landlord's fault. At 7:07, the judge emphasizes that assumptions are not enough and that Mr. Bailey should have reviewed his lease carefully. By 7:36, the judge explains that typically lease agreements and posted notices are sufficient, and there may not be a requirement for additional personal contact. At 8 o'clock, it becomes clear that Mr. Bailey's case mainly depends on whether proper notice was given before towing.
The window to you.
if it
Typically,
doesn't,
all
then
that's required is that they put it in the lease. So if the lease says they can
Right.
tow you in certain circumstances, that's sufficient too. And if you're a guest, then they've got to put certain placards. They got to be no more than 5 feet off off the ball. They got to be 36 inches. They got to be a certain kind of height. I mean, I got all those down. It sounds like your claim is hoping that they didn't put a correct notice on it. Other than notice, is there an issue you have?
my strongest case here was I understand, and again, this is through Google, that they are required to let me know if there's complaints against the car. It's like basically giving me an opportunity to before it's towed, beyond just the sticker, that they should have reached out to me. If that's not the case, then I'll accept that. But that's how I understand it.
All right, Mr. Auerwas, I'll go ahead and let defendant respond now. Why did y'all tow the car?
Your Honor, so this vehicle was stickered for having a flat tire by the property manager. Once the property manager went ahead and stickered the vehicle for a flat tire on the front driver's side.
Do you have any idea? Do you have any proof of when it was stickered?
The email that the property manager went ahead and submitted saying this vehicle's I stickered yesterday. And
Mr.
then after that, we
Auerwas,
went ahead.
did you receive an email from the landlord?
Yes, Your Honor.
And why did the landlord email you?
So that's essentially a dispatch request to have the vehicle removed.
So the landlord emailed you at the time of the towing, not as a result of this lawsuit.
Correct.
What's the date of that email?
This email was on December 23rd, 2025 at 10 a.m.
Did you submit that email to the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's take a look. Email received from Paseo. And is it your company that handles the towing for Paseo at Bee Cave there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Did they have any type of permitting system there for the complex? Because I get all versions of these, so I've heard different.
Yeah, not to our awareness. They essentially just call our towing company when they have the necessity of a vehicle removal.
Where was the vehicle towed to?
The vehicle was towed to Austin, so 7511 D. Gabriel Collins Road. That's in Austin, Texas, right by the airport.
All right, let's take a look, y'all. These are all good cases to hear. And Mr. Bailey, I applaud you for looking into it, right? Let's take a look. I'm going to share my screen. Let me make sure I'm not trying to put y'all's personal information out to the internet, right? All right. Forgive me. My software just decided to be haywire. Don't you love that? But Shay, are you having any weirdness with Odyssey today?
No, ma'am.
All right, it circled and disappeared on me. But here we go. This appears to be the email. So I'm going to share my screen and then we'll look through the photos because it's an email with a bunch of photos. Okay. I realize this is hard to read, so I will zoom in for us. But this is an email. Pull it to the top. Okay, 2 cars to tow, Paseo at Bee Cave, from a Mark Roden at Cortland. So that's the landlord, to support at parktowingenforcement.com. So that's to the defendant. I can see it's dated December 23rd, 10 in the morning, 10:10 in the morning. Hey there, we've got a couple of junk cars to tow. The van has not moved for 2+ months and I tagged it ages ago. The Corolla's a new addition and I stickered it yesterday. Thanks so much. And then there are 4 photos included. Zoom in. Mr. Arwas, is this a photo that you received from the landlord?
No, Your Honor, that's the photo that the driver of the tow truck took at the time of the tow.
At the time of the tow, this is one of the pictures?
Correct.
And it's alleged that this is the plaintiff's vehicle?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Bailey, is this appear to be a picture of your vehicle?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, I see there's a flat. Oh, I'm actually pressing on this button as opposed to the back button in my own machine. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, another photo of the same car.
Yes, Your Honor.
No, there's a picture of it at the lot.
Yes, Your Honor.
If it's appropriate, I did send some pictures as well, before and after I received the car back from the tow company. And I had not planned on, and I'm not looking to go after it, but if you could look at those pictures, that the bumper that's damaged, when I got it back, it was almost completely ripped off.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen now, Mr. Bailey. I think these are photos you submitted. Is this a photo you took, sir? Mr.
Yes.
Bailey? Okay.
Yes,
Where is this photo taken at? Is this before or after the tow?
this is before the tow. That's after the tow.
Before or after?
This is after. Also after. That's before. The way you can tell the before and after is the white lines. When it's parked in the white lines, that is before, and when it's in the yellow lines, that's after.
Yeah, that's good tip. Yeah. This is the car, this picture you took when you left it?
Yeah, that's how it so that's after. Um, but yeah, the before pictures are when it was dropped off to me at work. They came and fixed the flat tire, and then I drove it back to my apartment and parked it. I did not park it there with a flat tire, so obviously another tire was slowly going flat and I didn't know.
All right, so this is before, because here's the flat, here's the white line. I see the bumper's already disengaged and scraped quite a bit. And then
Yes.
after it was towed. Well, this is the other side of it, but there's damage to the bumper still. I can actually see the front of the car. That's from before. These are the tow company's pictures. So here's the white line. There's the notice on your car.
Yes, that's at my apartment.
Your Honor, the last 2 photos, there's page 7 and 8. These are photos that were attached to the email that Mark Roden had attached.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Mr. Bailey, I do believe that they towed your car appropriately and correctly. So, I'm sorry that it happened. I'm glad you got it back. I'm really glad you got it back. We've had a few cases where it was so long after that that they went ahead and sold the car. So I'm glad you did recover it because the Toyota is always going to have some value to it for sure.
Okay.
All right. Plaintiff take nothing. Very best of luck to everyone though. Mr. Bailey, I'm glad you pursued it. Always take a look at these things, right? Take a look at your apartment lease though. I see a lot of tow cases and this isn't a good or a bad thing. Just say that the lease has very specific provisions about what happens with cars and good to be aware. All right.
I do have a quick question. One more quick question.
Absolutely, sir.
The dam, and this is something I have not looked into because I was not thinking to pursue it, but do tow yards have any responsibility if they damage the car more?
There's law out there about that, Mr. Bailey. I'd say certainly if you're interested in reviewing it or taking a look at what your cause of action, if you have one, would be TexasLawHelp.org is a good start. And just that, towing liability. Tow operators liability might be where to look into something like that. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Everyone did really well. Truly, very prepared.
8:42, the towing company representative explains that the vehicle was marked due to a flat tire and that the property manager had placed a notice on it before requesting removal. By 9:07, evidence is presented showing that an email was sent on December 23rd requesting the tow. At 10:11, it is confirmed that the car was taken to a tow yard in Austin, Texas. Around 11:14, the judge reviews the email and attached photos, which show the condition of the car and confirm that it had been tagged. By 11:58, Mr. Bailey acknowledges that the vehicle in the photos is his. At 12:26, he raises concerns about additional damage caused during towing, claiming the bumper was worse after he got it back. By 13:36, the judge carefully compares before and after photos and notes that the car already had visible damage before being towed. Finally, at 15:13, the judge delivers the decision, stating that the towing was done properly and in accordance with the rules. Although the judge sympathizes with Mr. Bailey, the case is dismissed. At 15:55, Mr. Bailey asks about possible liability for damage, and the judge advises him to research towing laws if he wishes to pursue that issue separately.